And in the day's other news, North Korea grabbed the world's attention again with its first missile test in 10 weeks. The Pentagon says it was likely an intercontinental ballistic missile. It launched from north of Pyongyang, flew more than 600 miles, and splashed into the Japan Sea, what it calls its economic exclusion zone. President Trump commented on the launch as he met with Republican leaders, the defense secretary, and other cabinet officials.
I will only tell you that we will take care of it. We have General Mattis in the room with us, and we've had a long discussion on it. It is a situation that we will handle.
The launch came a week after the president put North Korea back on a list of states that sponsor terrorism. President Trump, back in this country, has won the first round in the fight over who serves as acting head of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. A U.S. district judge today ruled against Leandra English. She is the Bureau's deputy director. She had wanted to bar White House Budget Chief Mick Mulvaney from taking over. This ruling leaves Mulvaney in charge pending appeals. A federal jury in Washington today acquitted the main suspect in the Benghazi, Libya attacks of all murder charges. Ahmed Abu Khattala was accused of organizing the 2012 attacks that led to the death of the U.S. ambassador and 3 other Americans. But he was convicted today of 4 lesser counts, and he could get 60 years in prison. In Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta was sworn in for a second term as president after a protracted and sometimes violent struggle. Kenyatta addressed an estimated crowd of more than 60,000 in Nairobi. He said the turmoil had stretched Kenya, quote, almost to the breaking point, but he urged the country to put divisions aside.
I believe that those who voted for me chose the better vision. This, however, does not invalidate the aspirations of those who did not vote for me. I undertake today to be the custodian of the dreams of all.
Elsewhere in the city, though, opposition candidate Raila Odinga called the election illegitimate and rallied supporters. Police fired rifles and tear gas to break up the gathering, and 3 people were killed. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson today rejected growing reports that he is hollowing out the State Department. Democratic lawmakers, former department staffers, and others have blamed Tillerson for an exodus of senior Foreign Service officers. Today, in a Washington speech, Tillerson insisted the critics are doing a disservice to department employees.
There is no hollowing out. These numbers that people are throwing around are just false. They're wrong. I'm offended on their behalf when people say somehow we don't have a State Department that functions. But I can tell you it's functioning very well from my perspective.
Tillerson said he believes the State Department can cut spending by 30% and staffing by 8%, even as the Trump administration addresses various overseas conflicts. Another woman is now accusing Congressman John Conyers of sexual harassment. Deandra Maher ran a Michigan office for the Detroit Democrat from 1997 to 2005. She told the Detroit News that he made multiple unwanted advances on her. Conyers is already under investigation by the House Ethics Committee for earlier allegations. Another congressional veteran and a champion of immigration reform says that he will not seek re-election. Illinois Democrat Luis Gutierrez announced today that he will leave the U.S. House after 13 terms. He says he wants to focus on immigration issues and on rebuilding hurricane-ravaged Puerto Rico. And President Trump's nominee to chair the Federal Reserve signaled today that another interest rate hike is coming in December. Jerome Powell had his Senate confirmation hearing today, and he made clear that the Fed will maintain its policy of gradual rate increases.
I think that the case for raising interest rates at our next meeting is coming together. The very low settings of interest rates that were appropriate during the crisis and after to support economic activity are no longer appropriate, and that's why we're raising interest rates now on a gradual path, and I expect that will continue.
Powell would succeed Janet Yellen as Fed chair if confirmed by the full Senate.